Hello, good morning. 9 o'clock on a Sunday morning. Here we are again at Ponds Forge in Sheffield for the Swimming England North East Region Open Championships 2023. Middle day of the event, day 2. First event is the Women's Open 100 meters backstroke. 7 heats of this there will be. Let's give you the run through, as it may have just been off the screen quite quickly. Evie McWatt of Kingston upon Hull, Grace Bradbury of Rotherham Metro, Victoria Sibova of Kingston upon Hull, Sheffield's Abigail Armstrong, that's Sheffield City's Abigail Armstrong, Jessica Thomas of N&D, Olivia Harris of Kingston upon Hull, City of Sheffield's Mabel Robertson, and the disability swimmer from the S9 category, Evie Lambert of Borough of Kirklees at the top of your picture. Those who weren't with us yesterday, lane 0 at the bottom, lane 9 at the top. We will be using 10 lanes for most of these races, so get used to that. So the gold lanes are 4 and 5. And on this 100 back, the pacemaker is Victoria Sibova of Kingston upon Hull, though challenged by Jessica Thomas of N&D up in 5. They're the 1 and 2 coming into the fish. Looks like Sibova's going to get it in 3, just about, by about shoulders difference between the two as they come into the wall. That is a 1:12.29, and working on the basis of the entry times being their personal bests, that's a little improvement for Victoria, now from a 1:12.60 to a 1:12.29. Just Thomas with a 1:12.39, also heading kind of in the right direction, just a little bit outside her best. Third was Mabel Robertson in that one. Waiting for the board to revolve. It hasn't done yet. Interestingly, now it does. Confirmed result up on the screen. Heat number 2 of 7. We're dealing with mainly the 15 and 16-year-olds here. Indeed, we have one 14-year-old in Ruby Robinson, who's going in lane 0 for Tadcaster. Then Lacey Grayson of Rotherham Metro, Emily Maxwell of N&D. 3 City of Leeds swimmers together, Darcy Crossley, Madison Carter, Alex Newton, then Scunthorpe's Caitlin Calland. I always like to say hello to the in inverted commas smaller clubs when we see them on the list. So, morning Scunthorpe. And N&D, Skipton with Amelia Redfern and Beverly Barracudas, the first of their swimmers for today. And it's a fairly even start. Good start by Lacey Grayson, and also particularly by Emily Maxwell of N&D. And it might well be Maxwell who goes into the turn first in lane number 2. Yeah, she does. 0.3 ahead of Alex Newton. Then it is Ruby Robinson, the aforementioned 14-year-old, who's in lane 0 and looking strong. Now, her best time, according to the entry time, so on 11.99. She'll be looking to improve upon that. She's in a group of swimmers with 1:10s. Emily Maxwell has looked very impressive in the sun. Now being joined by Darcy Crossley of Leeds. They're going to go into the wall pretty much together. I think just Emily Maxwell, but no, maybe not. Maybe Darcy's got it. Yeah, I think she came in with a little burst at the end to take it. And she's bypassed the 109s into the 108s in terms of her personal best. 108.81. Emily Maxwell also climbing down quite a bit from a 111 to a 109.15. That's your lineup for heat number 3. 3 N&D swimmers in this one. And hello to Wakefield, the Wakefield Club. They've got the first of their swimmers in the pool this morning. And Durham City as well. And, you know, I had problems with Greta's name last time, didn't I? I'll do my best. Just writing it down finessingly again. Okay, so the lineup is Hannah Smith of City of Wakefield, Holly Bourdineau, Chestnut Street, Megan Park of M&D, Annabelle Cooper, Chestnut Street, LV Warburton of City of Sheffield, Abigail Naylor of Borough Kirklees, and then Greta Yokubaite. Is that right? Yokubaite. That's right. Okibayete of Durham City. Well, close enough anyway, but that's because I'm going to get this morning. Nadine Wilson, N&D, Tatenda Tayenga of N&D, and Emily Rickinson of Kingston upon Hull. All in, all racing, and with all about 35 meters to go to conclude this race. And this is right at the top in lane 7, Nadine Wilson, who is leading them home, and also going well. In lane 0 is Hannah Smith of Wakefield. So the spread right across. Is it going to be 0? Is it going to be 7? It's going to be 7. It's going to be Nadine Wilson, who gets there first in a 1:09.76. So again, down below that 1:10 for the first time for her. Tatenda Tayenga has just posted the time slightly outside her best, and third place went to Annabelle Cooper. Heat number 4. 2 from Middlesbrough, and they are literally not quite within touching distance, but the Middlesbrough team are away to my right hand side, so it might be a bit of noise being generated very shortly. Likes of Ellie Baster and Isabel Montague. And 2 from Leeds, Isla Williams, Matilda Ashcroft. Loftus Dolphins, morning Loftus. Millie Shaw in 4, Millie Riley of Newcastle. Bradford Samantha Knoll, she had a good day yesterday. She's in 6, Tammy Plumtree of Rotherham Metro, Poppy Dunn of Skipton, and Grace Pinder of Selby. Heat number 4 of the 100 backstroke for women. And Poppy Dunn's off to a lively start, the Skipton swimmer on the far side. So too is the swimmer in lane number 1, Isabella Montague. And it'll be between these two for the 50-meter touch. I think it's going to be at the top of your picture. Lane 8, Poppy Dunn. Yeah, it is, by 3/4 of a second from Isabel Montague. Then Samantha Knowles. As you saw last time in the race, just change complexion over the second 50 very often. Is our leader going to hold on? Is Tammy Plumtree going to come back at it? Is Poppy Dunn going to hold on? Poppy Dunn is going to hold on. And in the centre lane is Matilda Ashcroft, who's finishing really strongly here. Watch out for lane 3. Matilda Ashcroft is really going quickly and may well steal this on the touch. And she has. Suddenly came out of the pack, emerging very quickly there. 1:08.93. Second place goes to Isla Williams. No, it was Samantha Knowles got second place. There we are. Confirmation on that board now as it revolves. Samantha Knowles, Poppy Dunn, Isabel Montague, the top 4 in that one. Right, we're to the cyclically seeded heats now. The faster swimmers grouped together. So Sophia Gledhill of City of Bradford, Tadcaster's Riley Ackroyd. So the Tadcaster swimmers for the day. Grace Aduwu of Newcastle, Katie Blunt of N&D, Kingston upon Hull's Libby Mundy. 2 from Leeds, Lara Thompson, Emma Wood. Olivia Tom of York City, Millie Linton of N&D, and Skipton's Kay Fenton. We have a scratch in 1. It's the only one. Oh no, she went so deep I thought she'd scratched. Well done, Riley. Threw me completely. She went so deep off that dive. I thought she wasn't there, but she is there. You can see her in lane number 1. Centre lanes are showing early though. Libby Mundy and Lara Thompson in 4 and 5. It might just be Libby Mundy of Kingston upon Hull who gets to the wall first. Pretty tight on the flip, just ahead of Lara Thompson. That's Millie Linton in 3rd place, but it looks like a race to the finish between 4 and 5. Lara Thompson might just be starting to get the better of Libby Mundy here. But they're virtually side by side, and to say that, certainly on that echelon, looks like Libby Mundy's coming back at her again. And Libby Mundy might just take this, actually. I think she's paced this brilliantly. Libby Mundy is going to take it in lane number 4. Extra stroke from Lara Thompson didn't help her there. And she gets second place. Emma Wood in third. And Olivia Tom in fourth. 105.33 is the winning time for Libby Mundy. Okay, heat number 6. Do you have a scratch in 7? Everybody else is there. And also, we've got a name here that unfortunately does not finish off. So I'm afraid the Tadcaster swimmer, I don't have the full name of. All I have is literally what's on the screen there. So we'll check that for later. And if Charlotte makes it to later, we'll get a full name for you, but I don't have it on the sheet. Grace Brown, Newcastle. Isabella Shearing of City of Sheffield. Eva Fear, Durham City. Neve Savory, Newcastle. Libby Freeman of N&D. Charlotte from Tadcaster in 5. Emily Headley of Newcastle. And 8 is Elizabeth Land and Sophia Kelly of Tadcaster going in 9. Pretty lively start from Libby Freeman. N&D entered it on 63.05 watt. She is on paper a couple of seconds quicker than anybody else in this field, so not surprising that she's blazing the trail early here. Let's see what time she could do. I doubt very much whether she's going to be going flat out this morning. She'll want to keep a little bit in reserve for later, but looking nice and smooth and nice and controlled to the right-hand side of her lane as we look. Left-hand side from her point of view. Very tight to that lane rope though. Don't want to get too much closer to that. You'll start catching the rope itself. It helps her with the streamlining to be connected to it. But again, just be a little bit careful. I'd centre up a little bit more, but maybe that's what she enjoys doing. It's working well for her today, so can't criticise that too much. 104.19. Is a job well done in the morning. Second, Charlotte Fletcher. Sorry, I don't know the rest of it, Charlotte. We will discover that later. Put a little asterisk to make sure that we get your full name for later on. And third place is Eva Fear. So that's the fastest time of the morning. I expect it to go a bit quicker next heat because it is the last one with the slightly faster swimmer in it. A couple of Leeds swimmers, high-profile ones, with Kidius Hodgson being the fastest of them in lane 4. Ash Lawson in 2. And good morning to, as I say, I'll try and get around the names of the inverted commas smaller teams. I know a lot of people don't like that phrase, but not the big city clubs like Leeds and Sheffield. Kingfisher Scarborough got a swimmer in here, as have Gateshead and Wickham. Megan Chew of Kingston on Hulls in 0. Rhea Harrand of York City in 1. Leah Schlosson, City of Leeds in 2. Conley Milburn of Harrogate in 3. Gideon Hodgson of City of Leeds in 4. Alex McGill, Gateshead and Wickham 5, 6. Gina Warrior of City of Bradford N&D's Holly Gilly, Talia Malik of City of Sheffield in 8, and Liza Hammond of Kingfisher Scarborough are the ones involved in this. We don't have Leah Schlosson after giving her the big build-up. She's not with us, but the others are. And our early leader is Alex McGill from Gateshead and Wickham. But Kidius Hodgson off that turn. She knows all about turns. They worked so hard on that to make sure those little extra tenths of a second are bought. And Kidius Hodgson, as I expected she would do, now starting to dominate this race in lane number 4. And she's going to win this pretty comfortably. I'm just going to get too close to her. And she finishes on 105.76. Not the fastest time of the morning. That belongs to Libby Freeman, but it's solid enough for the morning, and plenty of others will be returning later today. Next up, it's the first of 7 heats of the men's 100 breaststroke. And only 3 to start in the first heat. One of whom, closest to the camera, is our disability swimmer, SB15, for Nathan Carrington of York City. And then in 4, Ben Walker of Stocksbridge. And 5 is Alex Morton of N&D. So the first of the Stocksbridge swimmers in this morning. Stocksbridge, for those who don't know, just out, well, it's actually on the edge of Sheffield. It's actually in Sheffield itself, but also we have the Sheffield City Club, and we have Sheffield and Sheffield Hallam, obviously now amalgamated into Sheffield, and Stocksbridge is just a little bit further up the M1, not very far. Alex Morton of N&D's had a good lively start. Well, all 3 of these will be hoping, I'm sure, to get inside their entry times, which in Nathan Carrington's case is 1:18.50. 1:17.30 with Ben Walker. Alex Morton with a 1:17.56. Well, Alex Morton is looking very good indeed this morning, as too is Nathan Carrington. So I think both of those are potentially on course for a huge drop down in time. The N&D swimmer, 15 years of age. Nathan Carrington is 16. It looks like the 15-year-old's going to take this. Obviously not in the same category. One's able, but oh, very tight though. Very tight. 1:17.34. So it is an improvement of a couple of tenths of seconds. Nathan Carrington goes from a 1:18.5 to a 1:17.62. Not quite Ben Walker's morning. Maybe a little bit disappointed with that. So heat number 2. Tin Ho Chung of City of Leeds, Oliver Mager of Thirsk, Max Dawson of City of Sheffield, Jack Philpott of N&D. Hello to the Hartlepool crew. Sorry that your football team did get relegated yesterday. Austin Keegans is going for them. Ache Banas of Doncaster Darts, Will Byram of City of Wakefield, Cleethorpes have Joe Daly, and Harrogate have Alfie Charlton. As an absentee, it is Austin Keegans. So having given the Hartlepool a big shout out, they're not here. Whereas Austin is not here. Right, who's going to be leading off the turn? It looks like Ache Banas of Doncaster Darts is going to be the one, and he's got a fairer distance between himself and the rest at the moment. Trying to finish fast at the top of the picture is Joe Daly of Cleethorpes. So I think both of them in for a quicker time, and also coming through is Max Dawson of City of Sheffield, the 15-year-old. And that will be a touch for Banas at 1:13.97. So yeah, that's quite a sizable chunk taken out of that entry time. 1:15.46 down to 1:13.9. Second Max Dawson was on a 1:16, now down to a 1:15. And Joe Daly 1:15.84. That's your top 3. All right, go. Quick glance across, make sure I don't give a build up to somebody who's not there. We don't have a 7. So lane 7 is not with us for this one. Everybody else in place, which means Oliver Austin of Borough Barnsley, Hugo Douglas Reeves of N&D, York City is Jamie Blanche. In 2, Max Walker of Thirsk, Gateshead and Wickham's George Lavery, Sam Smith of Skipton, Borough of Kirklees Zach Beattie, Joshua McCollin of Kingston upon Hull, Alexander McCallum of Selby, and Luca Hall of N&D. Alexander McCallum of Selby having a very good first 50. Might just get to the wall before the others. Can be touch and go, but I think it's just him. It is from Zach Beattie in second place, Sam Smith in third place, but this is a wide open race. Look at that. Top 8 separated by next to nothing at that turn. Impressed with the form that we're seeing here. Swimmer in lane 6. Beattie coming through. And looks like lane 6 is going to take it. Lane 6, Zach Beattie, holding off all comers, including the fast finishing George Lavery. And it will be Zach Beattie. And we'll stop the clock at 1:12.15. So almost a 2-second PB there for Zach. George Lavery 1:13.10, just outside his best. And Sam Smith 1:13.23. So that's the fastest time so far, with the cyclically seeded ones coming shortly. Not this one, but the next heat. Heat 4. Yeah, they're all there. Robbie Ambler of City of Bradford, Quinn Austin Kelly of City of Bradford, N&D's William Gowler, Aaron Wharton of Richmond Dale, Lewis Doubledam of Durham City, Ryan Mills of Middlesbrough, Jack Kelso N&D, Thirsk's Benjamin Dale Wood, Maxwell Ford of City of Leeds, and Joseph Hall, City of Leeds, all in there. Lively start from Lewis Doubledam from Durham City, lane 4. This is an impressive start. I like that stroke too. Very efficient, gets the job done. It's not too much lift out of the pool. And that's what's put him 0.59 ahead of the rest right now. Benjamin Dale Wood in second place, but the race most definitely on between these two. Potentially a couple of others too coming into the mix, but I think it's going to be from start to finish potentially here. Lewis Doubledam of Durham City. But is he going to get caught by the swimmer 2 up from him? I think he might do. Jack Kelso of N&D is going to just get to the wall first in 1:10.74. That was a very tight one. Second place to Lewis Doubledam with a Louis Doubledam. So I keep doing the Lewis and Louis, don't I? 1:11.19. That's Louis Doubledam with a 1:11.19. Third place going to Ryan Mills. Fourth to Benjamin Dale Wood. So 1:10.74, best we've seen so far, with the 3 cyclically seeded heats to come. So we're going to get down towards the 106s, 107s in due course. Don't see any empty lanes. I do see an empty lane. I see empty lane 9 actually on this one. So everybody else is in play on this one. Which is Simon Littlefair. Again, we don't have the full name for the Stokesley swimmer, so Simon will go. I think probably Dryden, I imagine, but we are a letter or 2 short there. Blake Price of Bridlington, Ethan Stannard of Stokesley, Daniel Ransom of City of Leeds, Christian Ryan N&D, Joseph Keeley of East Leeds, William Morris of N&D, Newcastle's Oliver Dodsworth, and Benjamin Rogers of Richmond Dale. Oh, I was giving you all those names. Only one name really is prominent in this race, and that's our swimmer in lane 4, Christian Ryan, 18-year-old from N&D. 1:05.77 is his entry time. I doubt he's going to break that this morning, but it's going to be the quickest time of the morning by quite some way, in the 1:07 range maybe. 1:06 in fact, better than that by a second. 1:06.08. I think there's a fair amount still to come from him later on today. Second for Daniel Ransom with a 1:08. And third place was Joseph Keeley with a 1:09. The world-class marker these days is to get sub-minute in the 100 breast. Still very few people, relatively speaking, have done it. It won't happen this weekend, but it's not an easy thing to achieve. Now we are a couple of swimmers light on this one. We don't have a 0 and we don't have a 3. But we do have Alfie Maguire, Chester Street, Callum Nurse of Cleethorpes, Barnaby Howarth Osborne of City of Sheffield, Simon Robson, York City, Ethan Balin of Tadcaster, Michael Elsify of Billingham, Roman Wallace of Borough Barnsley, and Jasper Hall of Newcastle are all in the field. Simon Robson is early leader from York City. He's going to get pushed all the way here by Ethan Balin, I think. Those two seem to have worked their way clear, although keep an eye on Barnaby Houth Osborne. Probably just do what he needs to do to qualify for later today. Not going to go flat out, but he won't want to be too far back in the pack in case he misses out on that open final. It'll be the York City swimmer, though. Simon Robson is going to take this. He's in a 106. He's around that. Oh, in fact, he's just gone inside his personal best, I think. He's 19, so he may have gone quicker. Obviously, with the younger swimmers, we generally know that the entry time is their best, but he's got a 106.03 there. He's entered in a 106.9, so if that is his best time, then he's improved on it quite a bit. Last of the heats. We'll get to see Rowan Smith here, who has the fastest entry time of 104.10. I think we've got an empty lane. It's like lane 3, just lane 3 in this one. Ben Swan, N&D, Matthew Day, N&D. Two from Sheffield, or would be if there were two, but there's only one. Ethan Ellis Sixsmith, Rowan Smith of Skipton, Daniel Jackson of Borough of Kirklees, N&D's Joseph Martin, Jacob Barnes of N&D, Harrogate's Joseph Moore, William Sutcliffe of Beverley Barracudas. I think we've also not got an 8, so we'll keep an eye on Rowan Smith, who we expected to be the class act in this field, and so it's proving to be. And that 1.31 advantage at the turn, and if anything, I think is extending it. And who can go with him or even get close to him? Daniel Jackson's trying, and on this side of the pool in 2, Ethan Ellis Sixsmith is trying too, but this is all about Rowan Smith. Looking a decent heat time. Best is 104.10, so his entry time is anyway. It'll be 105-ish. Ooh, high 104s. 104.75 for Rowan Smith. Second to Ethan Ellis Sixsmith, who has brought his 108 down into the 107s. 107.64. Third is Daniel Jackson. I may have mentioned this before, but in the absence now of a couple of our 400 IM Olympians, we need to replenish that stock. Certainly for 4 years' time or 5 years' time in LA, and preferably also try and get a couple up to speed for Paris next year. It's not a deep event in British swimming right now. 400 IM. It's the domination of two very, very good swimmers over the years. Hannah Miley blazing the trend, of course. Still the British record holder. So it's Ella Proud of Middlesbrough, Daisy Ball of Wakefield, Amelia Redfern of Skipton. Then we've got Alana McDonald. And then we've got another blank lane in lane 5. And 6 is Emily Appleby. 7 is Lily Ella Curran. Okay, so a few scratches in this one. But that shouldn't affect what's happening with Emily Appleby of Durham City, who is looking pretty good. In fact, very good at this stage. The butterfly nearly complete. 2 down from her on the picture, and Lana McDonald of N&D. First split of the first stroke completed, and 2.21 advantage for Appleby over McDonald. See as these strokes unfold who has the strongest backstroke, who has the strongest breaststroke next. And you can see up in lane 2, Daisy Ball is coming through quite quickly on this backstroke. She might even be in second place very soon. Just noticing how high on the water Emily Appleby is, which is the real key to backstroke. Try and float on the top, make sure not too much of the torso is down below. And she's opened up a 2.49 lead now over the others, but of course there's still the breaststroke to come, which I think proportionately over the 4 strokes has more of an impact, especially over 400 as well. Not so much over 200, but over 400 the breaststroke really does have a massive impact. Now lane 3, Amelia Redfern starting to really make a move now, and she may be virtually on level terms. In fact, she might well be in the lead by the time they turn. I think Redfern's just got to the front of the field. Yes, she has, only marginally, but that lead, which was 2.49, is now reversed. There's Amelia Redfern on Skipton. She's got an entry time of 5:35, and obviously with the age group we're talking about, mainly 15 and 16-year-olds here, those times can come down quite rapidly. So if she could knock maybe 5 to 10 seconds off, that would be a step in the right direction. Start to get down towards 5 minutes. And she's looking very smooth on this breaststroke. Second is Emily Appleby, and then third is Lily Ella Curran. But at this stage, it's hard to see how anybody's going to catch our leader. Amelia Redfern looking like she's in total charge on this breaststroke. And the gap is still considerable between her second place, Emily Appleby, but she and Lily Ella Curran have a fair old scrap on the far side, and I think Lily Ella's going to come through for second at the moment with 100 to go. So 100 to go, 300 completed, just the front crawl to come, and Amelia Redfern has timed this to perfection, so now we keep our eye not so much on who's going to win it, but what kind of time she might post here. 5:35.40 is her entry time, which I'm sure is her personal best. Good battle between the two at the top of your picture. Emily Appleby and Lily Ella Curran, Durham City and Tadcaster. But they're not making much an impression on our leader so far. Amelia Redfern turns for the final time. 50 to go. Keep an eye on that time. 5:35 her best. It will be improved today. So on the far side they're putting in a good old sprint finish as well. Liella Curran's in 5:36, so they should all be, so top 2 I reckon will be well inside their best. Top 3 should be. Amelia Redfern's on the cusp of taking quite a lot of time out of her PB here. Hopefully going, well, not quite sub 5:30, but she's going to be in and around it. 5:31 for Redfern, so she's taken a good nearly 5 seconds off her best. 4 and a bit. 5:31.26. Emily Appleby second place in that race for the finish. She's improved on her best, and I think Lily Ella Curran has too. Let's have a quick check on that. Yes, she has, by 1/3 of a second. So top 3 all improving on their entry times. Now, you've got 10 on your screen, but not 10 in the pool. We've lost 5. And 5's not there, but everybody else is. Abby Whitfield, N&D. City of Wakefield's Jessie Booth. Leah Weston of Richmond Dale. Isabel Munnock, N&D. Nadine Wilson, N&D. Gina Warrior, Bradford. Samantha Knowles back in again from City of Bradford in 7. Matilda Hendon of Tadcaster, 13 years of age. Matilda in lane 8. And Evie Hetherington of Newcastle is in 9. First 50 of the butterfly is Nadine Wilson's. 33 dead for our leader. So over 4 strokes, a lot changes, or a lot potentially could change. Didn't so much in the last race, but this number of swimmers potentially could. Weston's going nicely too from Richmond Dale. There's only 3 swimmers who've gone under 5:30 in this field so far. Could be a few more come the end of this race. Nadine Wilson has been under 5:30, 5:26. But look how tight it is with Leah Weston, Isabel Munnock and Nadine Wilson. Separated by 0.54 of a second, only half a second between those 3. And Jessie Booth's not too far shy of those top 3 either. She's coming back very strongly on the backstroke. The thing about the IM is if you have a really strong stroke, you can get right back up there again. And there could be 4 in the line virtually. It's only 3 when they come into this wall. Still just Nadine Wilson of NND by almost a body length. And then it might well be Leah Weston second. She is. Isabel Munnock third. And Jessie Booth. Now when they get onto the breaststroke leg, it's almost like 2 races in one here. This side of the pool and that side of the pool having their own little breakout. But Nadine Wilson, 15 years of age from the NND team, 5:26.04 her best. Nina Warrior up in 6 is one of those who's not gone sub 5:30 yet, but will be looking to do so. So halfway stage from backstroke to breast. Nadine Wilson, 1.79 advantage over the rest of the field. Then Samantha Knowles. Then Jessie Booth. Now let's see whether the breaststroke specialist can. Here we go. Here's a breaststroke specialist straight away. You can detect that. Leah Weston is just ploughing through the field, going really, really quickly, and probably taking over the front of the race. In fact, she almost certainly is by body length and a half, maybe, by the time she turns to come into the second half of the breaststroke. Second place still Nadine Wilson. Leah Weston, 16 years of age from Richmond Dale. She's not been sub 5:30 yet, so they could well be the day. I think they will be the day if she can back up her breaststroke. She really was strong on that breaststroke, wasn't she? Took the rest of the field apart on that. Isabel Munnock in second, Nadine Wilson in third now, as they come into the front crawl. This has been a very impressive second half of the race for our swimmer in lane 2, Leah Weston. Oh, she's going to be massively under 5:30. If she keeps going at this pace, you get an idea of just how much potentially she could be under 5:30 when she turns here. She's been around about 4:44, I reckon, on this turn. Yeah. So if she can come back in something like 40, we've certainly got a 5 to 8 second improvement potentially here. No, don't see anybody getting close to her. Yeah, really impressive stuff from Leah Weston. Second half of this race, absolutely dominant, and she's still pulling away from the rest. So that 5:30 is going, but how much by? Well, I said maybe 6 to 7 seconds. I think it might be a little bit more than that. Maybe 10. 5:21. 5:21 for Leah Weston. She's moved into a completely different realm now with that swim. That is a 9-second PB. Gone from 5:30 to 5:21. Isabel Munnock just under her best as well, 5:28.11. And Nadine Wilson, not quite as quick as she has been before, but top two, both with improvements, and a massive improvement for Leah Weston. Breaststroke and the front crawl really helping her on the way to a very impressive time. Right, we have one withdrawal, I think, in this one, which is lane one. But I'll tell you who the others are. Talia Malik of City of Sheffield, Riley Ackroyd of Tadcaster in 2, Leonie Young of Billingham in 3. Then we have 3 N&D swimmers together: Katie Blunt, Alice Ward, Megan Cairns, then Hannah Takach of Stokesley, Abigail Heald of City of Leeds, Katie Pink of Middlesbrough, all racing. And racing particularly well at the moment is Maisie Smith, Kingston upon Hull, and also up in 5, Alice Ward. So the only Young who gets to the wall slightly ahead, only just, of Alice Ward. This looks like being a very wide open and competitive 400 IM. This is heat number 3. We have 6 in total, so the next one will be one of the cyclically seeded ones. But as you can see, there's 3 together. Closest to us maybe just Riley Ackroyd getting to the wall first for the touch. Yeah, by 4/100ths of a second from Alice Ward. And then it's Leonie Young in 3rd place. Those 3 have just broken away, but as we saw on the breaststroke, that can all change very rapidly. You've seen our winner wasn't even really in the frame after the backstroke, and suddenly the breaststroke transformed the race from her point of view. These 3 are virtually inseparable at the moment, though, with Riley Ackroyd, Leonie Young and Alice Ward. Alice Ward may get us flip together, aren't they, here? Yeah, Alice Ward and Ackroyd virtually together, 3/100ths separating those 2. There's from Riley. Let's see who's got that strong breaststroke that might take him into contention, or I'm sure the others aren't in contention anymore. Riley Ackroyd might just take it over the front of this race again in lane number 2 from Tadcaster, 15 years of age. Yeah, she's got the lead all right at the halfway stage, and it's about a body length or so's lead over Alice Ward. And then it is Leonie Young. Here comes that breaststroke, the dominant force in a 400 IM. These days, there was a time, say when I first started covering swimming, that you could kind of mask or camouflage a bad breaststroke, but you can't do it these days. If you don't have a decent breaststroke, you cannot be a competitive IM swimmer. It's so dominant. Looking at kind of percentages, I'd say maybe 30 to 40% impact on a race like this does the breaststroke have. If you have a strong breaststroke, you can get yourself from middle of the pack right to the front of the pack. Riley Ackroyd is doing what she needs to do. In fact, she's opening up a bit of an advantage over Alice Ward. Megan Cairns is the one who's benefited from having a strong breaststroke to move up into 3rd place, and you see Megan Cairns up in 6th. She really is starting to forge forward, and it may not be too long before she gets on a par with Alice Ward here. In fact, the way she's going, she won't be too far shy of our leader. It just shows you how the breaststroke transforms things. Didn't mention it until that first 50 of the breaststroke, and there she is edging her way up to 3rd place and very near 2nd place, and we have a new leader now too. Yeah, it's going to be Alice Ward, who will get onto the front crawl, then Megan Cairns, then Riley Ackroyd. So that race changed around totally on that 100 meters. Megan Cairns coming from nowhere to 2nd. Alice Ward now She'd taken over the front of the race, can now dictate things from the front. She's got a 5:20 to her name. Megan Cairns got a 5:22. And Riley's got a 5:23. So all of them definitely in the ballpark of improvements here. Alice Ward turns for the last 50. There's almost a 2-second advantage over Riley Ackroyd, who's moved back into second place. There's Megan Cairns. That's how this race has kind of rolled. Megan Cairns is digging in again. So I think they're all on course potentially for personal bests here. Not big ones, but big enough. So it will be Alice Ward will come in first. It's going to be, yeah, inside that 5:20 of hers. A 5:18. 5:18.70. Riley Ackroyd, yeah, just inside. In fact, a bit more than just. Second and a half better than she's been before. Megan Cairns 5:23, just outside her best. But top two improvements. Megan Cairns and Abigail Heald. 5:27. Right, first of the cyclically seeded heats to come, so we'll definitely speed things up quite a bit here. Second lane 1. I think everybody else looks to be there. Quite an intriguing heat this, because the 4 centre lanes, we go 3 down to 6, have all got 5:14 entry times, and they're separated by about half a second. So this could be an immensely tight race. If it goes by the entry times, this could be very, very tight indeed. A little error on our timing device in the corner. Hopefully it won't affect your enjoyment of this race too much. I'll update you if we have problems with that, but everything is rolling. So Isabel Fox, N&D in 0-2. Maisie Smith, Kingston Bon Hull. Gabrielle Freeman, N&D in 3. 2 from Leeds, Matilda Potter, Lauren Lilly. Then Tadcaster's Neve Carroll in 6. Annabelle Cooper, Chester Street. Evelyn Hallisey of Newcastle. Sophie Bourne of Sheffield City are in this one. So Gabrielle Freeman, first 50 belongs to her. And it is Matilda Potter, followed by Isabel Fox. So they're all the group that I'm talking about in the middle of 5:14s. In fact, just outside of that, we've got a couple of 5:16s as well. So there's not much of a differential on any of these swimmers. It's the red cap, which is the most prominent right now. Red cap belonging to Gabrielle Freeman, and she'll come into the wall at the quarterway stage ahead of Matilda Potter and Isabel Fox. So that didn't change from 50 to 100. Let's see whether the backstroke changes things a great deal. Gabrielle 15 years of age, Matilda 15 as well. Lauren Lilly of Leeds also 15. A lot of 15-year-olds in this one. Very talented teenagers coming out of Leeds right now, certainly on freestyle, and they're seemingly also on IM as well. Gabrielle Freeman, though, of N&D, will just lead Matilda Potter into the wall, but there's not much between them as they flip. Only half a second. That's Neve Carroll, followed by Evelyn Hallisey, 14-year-old, youngest in this field, in lane number 8. And you know what I'm going to say next? Breaststroke's coming, and this whole race could be transformed. Looks like Matilda Potter's making a bit of a charge to lead at the halfway stage. I think looking at stroke rate, maybe she'll get there. She is edging up, or maybe just Gabrielle Freeman, but they're going to go into the wall together. Yeah, 1/100th separating them. That's how much together they were. But out of the turn, onto the breaststroke leg. That definitely was advantageous for Matilda Potter. And she has got trunk in front. And now the strong breaststrokers will make themselves known to us. So the picture, Niamh Carroll of Tadcaster working her way into third place, closing the gap a little bit on our second place swimmer Gabrielle Freeman. That leads dominating at the moment through Matilda Potter. She's one of the 5:14 group. Gabrielle's got a 5:14.20. Matilda's got a 5:14.13. And as for Niamh Carroll, she's on a 5:14.7. So it is quite as tight as I said it might be with those times, but not tight at the moment at the front of the race. It's being dominated by Matilda Potter. So I wonder what she has in mind for her PB here. If she gets down to 5:10, that would be an enormous step forward. And 5-minute barrier doesn't seem quite so far away. It's a 5:10 in the offing here, potentially. Let's see what she turns with here. Yeah, oh, actually, yeah, 3:57. Just doing some quick calculation. Big lead, by the way, almost 6 seconds over Gabrielle Freeman. I reckon a 5:10 is not out of the question here for our leader. 15 years of age, why not? Nice big chunk. She can get down below 5:10, and she is absolutely dominating this now. Wow. Suddenly she's gone to a completely different gear, and there's three of them in the line behind her. But yeah, that 5:10 surely is going to be in range. That's the speed she's going right now. Up another 7.5 second gap over Lauren Lilly. Oh, I'd love to see a 5:10 here. Just checking where she is in terms of the pool. She's could be on 25, coming up to 15 meters now. Oh, 5:10, 5:10. It's going to happen, isn't it? It's going to be inside 5:10. She's going to do a stupendous swim. Absolutely top notch. 5:08.05 for Matilda Potter. I was hoping she might go 5:10. That time has not come up on our screen, but I can tell you on the main scoreboard it has. 5:08.05. She'll not know it yet, because she will. She'll see it on the big screen. 5:08.05. And that will get filled in just a moment, but that's the confirmed score up on the board. Lauren Lilly is second, 5:21.07. Quick check of that's not quite as quick. So just our winner was a big winner. So sorry it's not on the screen, but confirmed up on the big scoreboard. 5:08.05. Lauren Lilly's 5:15, by the way, in that. So yeah, just slightly outside at best. Okay, on to heat number 5. And all the lanes are occupied. Abigail Jackson, Rotherham Metro. Chloe Cook, City of Sheffield. Madison Johnson of Rotherham Metro. Niamh Savary, Newcastle. Amelia Monaghan, City of Sheffield. Sheila Robinson, City of Sheffield. 2 from Leeds. Darcy Crossley, Holly Wilson. Then Daisy Purchase of Rotherham Metro. And Rihanna Foster of Kingston upon Hull. There's a red cap. It belongs to Sheila Robinson at the front of the field, up there in lane number 5. Second of the cyclically seeded heats. She's entered in on a 4:59, which is actually 11 seconds slower than Amelia Monaghan, who's next to her in lane number 4. So I can only take from that Butterfly is particularly strong, and maybe Sheila's breaststroke is the one that's going to bring her right back into the field. Also keep an eye on the lead swimmer at the top. There's 2 lead swimmers at the top. One is the most advanced at the moment, is Holly Wilson in lane number 7. This race now starting to settle down a little bit on the backstroke. Shirley Robinson, the 17-year-old from City of Sheffield. Amelia Monaghan is 4 years her senior. That'll be the 150 turn. It's Sheffield leading the way with Shirley Robinson. Amelia Monaghan moving up into second. Then the two lead swimmers racing each other. Closest to us is Darcy Crossley and Holly Wilson on the far side, the two 15-year-olds. Good stuff from Shirley Robinson. Say between her and Amelia Monaghan, there's about 11 seconds differential in their entry times, but that's not how it looks right now. But here comes that breaststroke leg, which I think is where Shirley Robinson will start to show her strength. And already you can see, look at that. Every single stroke, she's eating into that lead of Shirley Robinson. Amelia Monaghan going to come past her, I reckon, in a matter of about 10 to 15 meters. Until we get to the far end. It might just still slightly be Amelia Monaghan, but sorry, it'll be Shirley Robinson, but it's not going to be much between them. And also the two lead swimmers are also very much in the mix, as indeed is Niamh Savary. First 50 of the breaststroke done. Still just Shirley Robinson. I keep expecting Amelia Monaghan to come past her, but she's digging in really well. And every time, looks like Amelia's going to make a bit of a burst. Shirley responds. So you've got two Sheffield swimmers racing each other, and then the two Leeds swimmers racing each other in the yellow caps. And the only one who's not got a connection with those two is Niamh Savary of Newcastle, who is in fourth place at the moment. Good leg from Shola to hold on the breaststroke, because I thought she was going to get reeled in there. There will be a Sheffield battle to the end between the 17-year-old and the 21-year-old. Amelia Monaghan's got a 4:48 entry time, Shola a 4:59. It's not on your screen at the moment, so I can tell you we're coming up to 4:15 now on the race. So a good chance for a big drop down in time for Shirley Robinson here. And what will be even better for her is to win the race, but that might be a bit of a tough ask against the experienced Amelia Monaghan, who has taken over the lead of the race. But what Shirley should be thinking about now is bringing that 4:59 down. And it's coming down. The question is by how much. Relatively comfortable heat swim for Amelia Monaghan. Shirley Robinson will be hoping that she can get inside that 5. I don't think she's going to quite do it, actually. She's not, because the 5s are going to just about come and go now. She can say that for later on today. 5:02.11 for our winner. And for second Shola, 5:04.65. Still the quickest time of the morning. I think we may get another quicker one to come. Seeing spread of ages in this one. Make sure that all the key competitors are here. Well, they're not, because we've lost 3 and we've lost 9 as well. But front and centre, Phoebe Cooper, who every time I see her swim, it impresses me more and more. She is going to be an absolute star going forward. If they can keep her within the confines of City of Sheffield club and progress her the way they have done over the last couple of years, she could. It's not too far-fetched to think she'll be on the GB Olympic team next year. If it's not next year, it'll be LA, but the rate of improvement, there's every hope that she can make a team that goes to Paris in just over a year's time. 15 years of age now. So we've been watching her for a long time. We did see her when she burst on the scene, 13. Next to would have been a 14-year-old, but no Erin Jones today. Two City of Sheffield swimmers side by side, Phoebe Cooper and Karis O'Reilly. That's the lineup is City of Bradford's Sophia Gledhill, Molly Baker of City of Sheffield, and Seren Talentire of NND, Emma Price of NND, and Jess Widdowson of City of Leeds. But if it's not all about Phoebe Cooper, I will be immensely surprised. So I'm going to chat with her coach a bit more, Mike Taylor, about what deficiency she has in the 400 AM. So it's not difficult to find out if there is anything that doesn't quite work for her, but I can't visibly see a great deal. There will be, I'm sure, little nuances, little areas that they've been working on. She is not totally dominating this race, but nonetheless is at the moment in control. As a slightly, there you go, of about half a second over Emma Price. Both the same age, both 15 years of age. Once she gets onto the breaststroke, the lead is not huge at the moment. I think it might increase a bit more. Bear in mind, she'll know exactly what she has to do in the morning. There's no need to bust her gut, no need to over-rev, no need to really over-exert. She could pretty much go through the motions and make the final. I'm sure she doesn't want to get into any nasty habits, though. So, about a second between 1 and 2 right now. Then a bit of a gap back to Karis O'Reilly. Sophia Gledhill in 4th place. 5th is Seren Talentire at that turn. Now watch this. Let's see how much of a gap. Remember, it was about a second between 1 and 2 when we last got a time check. I can tell you without even watching for the clock, it's going to be well over a second now. And in fact, it's gone up to 3.87. So she's taken 2.5 seconds out of the field in that 50 alone. And the battle for second place is hotting up. Karis O'Reilly and Emma Price in 2nd and 3rd. But Phoebe Cooper doing what she does so admirably. I love that breaststroke. It's effortless. She barely even troubles the surface of the water as she goes through. There's a lot of everybody else, a lot of splash and a lot of surface water dispersal, but not where she's concerned. 3.72 now over her teammate Karis O'Reilly, who's done very well on that breaststroke to move up to 2nd, and Emma Price in 3rd. And Phoebe Cooper going to just finish this off. So 4:47.65, which is her entry time, will not be troubled here. She'd like to go sub 5 though, I'm sure, just to give herself a springboard for later. It's going to be a bit tight. Don't think she'll quite break 5 here. But it's going to be in and around the low 5s. So O'Reilly's now a little scrap again with Emma Price for 2nd place, which she's winning. And so Phoebe Cooper's going to be around about, I think, 5:03, 5:04 when she finishes. (5:03.41) for our winner. 2nd place, Karis O'Reilly. Has been sub 5, not today, not yet anyway. Emma Price 5:07. And Fourth place goes to Molly Baker at a 5:12. So from the women's 400 IM, we go to the men's 200 IM. There's due to be 3 in this first race, and 3 are there. So I'll name them for you. See them on your screen. Got Quinn Austin Kelly, 15 years old, from the city of Bradford. Zach Beattie of Borough of Kirklees in 4. Matthew James of City of Leeds in 5. All with very comparable entry times. 2:25.9 for Quinn Austin Kelly, 2:25.6 for Zach Beattie, 2:25.72 for Matthew James. So if that was to be replicated here, it would be a blanket finish. Or be looking to certainly ease down towards that 2:20 marker. Obviously little incremental improvements, little targets. Always help get through 2:20, then get 2:15, then get 2:10, and just try and knock them off and start getting down towards that 2 minutes. The ultimate goal, and become European standard, then become world standard. Matthew James leads the halfway stage. 1.12 advantage over Zach Beattie. Now it's Quinn Austin Kelly. This is not going to be a one-man race. It's going to probably change a bit. Zach Beattie's certainly making that change by coming through on the breaststroke. Three of them have almost identical entry times. It's pretty obvious to see why. 2 of them at least are locked together at the moment. Matthew James just missing out on the breaststroke. The other 2 slightly stronger on that particular stroke, but it's only the 200 IM. You only have 50 meters to make that advantage count. Front crawl next. Zach Beattie and Quinn Austin Kelly are pretty much locked together. They were at the turn, so they are right now as they make their way down for the last 25 meters of this first heat of the 200 IM. And they are absolutely side by side. Stroke rate exactly the same. And they're going to finish almost identically, right on the touch. It's just Zach Beattie. And he has, I think, replicated. No, he hasn't. By 1/100th, he's beaten his best. 2:25.66 it was. 2:25.65 it now is. So it's not a massive improvement. It's a little one. Every little counts, as that supermarket would have us believe. Looks like no 5 in this one. So it's Louis Cass, of Borough of Kirklees. I will get it right before the end of the weekend, Lou. Sorry about that. Charlie Ward, N&D, Owen Reid of Billingham, Zach Sheriff of Skipton, Matthew Day, N&D, Middlesbrough's Ryan Mills is in 6. Charlie Hinson of City of Leeds, and one of our disability athletes, Owen Garside's SM14, Kingston Hull, is in lane 8. Early stages, Zach Sheriff of Skipton enjoying himself, first of all on the butterfly, now on the backstroke. It's a very tight race at the moment. And 2 up from Zach is somewhere in lane number 5. And that's Jimmy Maguire and Charlie Ward and Lewis Cass. Cass in the lane 0, closest to us. Lane 3, Zach Sheriff of Skipton, still at the forefront, being challenged by Jimmy Maguire from N&D. It's Matthew Day we lost, by the way, not Jimmy, from the original lineup. And the two of them are going to go into the wall. I think the N&D swimmer is just going to get there first. He does by a third of a second. That's Ryan Mills and Charlie Ward and Louis Cass. And on the final 15, looks like being Jimmy Maguire's race. Now, got a whole collection of 220s here. So anybody who goes under 220 will have got an improvement. I think it's going to be touch and go as to whether he gets 220 or not here. And just outside maybe. 220.65 for our winner. Yeah, just a little shy of the best time. Zach Sheriff 222. Again, just outside his personal best. We're talking about tenths of seconds here though. So very close to it. And third was Owen Reed, who does come down in terms of time. It was 223, now down into the 222s. Okay, let's a quick glance across and see who might not be there. Well, everybody is, that's good. James Hodgson of Newcastle, Joshua McCollin of Kingston upon Hull, Ben Gilchrist of Richmond Dale, Louis Doubledam of Durham City, then Nicholas Land of Newcastle, Christian Ryan of N&D, Finn Ripley of Middlesbrough, Callum Aiken of York City, two from Leeds, Matthew Just and Patrick Neal. That's 50 done, and it is Matthew Just of City of Leeds who touches the wall ahead of Ben Gilchrist. And it's Finn Ripley in third place. Looking to the top of our screen for our leader. He's a very powerful first 75, has Matthew Just. Now is he going to start to be caught by Christian Ryan potentially here in 5? Or is that going to be Nicholas Land of Newcastle? Yeah, Nicholas Land it is, in fact. Just leading from Callum Aiken. There's Matthew Just in third place. Fourth is James Hodgson. So we'll into the cyclically seeded heats next. Nick Land's done a 2:17 for today, 2:17.6, very similar to Christian Ryan's 2:17.9. Louis Doubledam's done a 2:17.9, so again, there's not much to choose between those three. Callum Aiken's having a nice strong third part of the race here. His breaststroke taking him into the lead. Callum Aiken is now our leader from York City, 17-year-old. So anything under 2:19 will be a massive improvement. Also down in 0, James Hodgson. So a terrific 50 there. James Hodgson going very, very well indeed in lane 0. Out of sight, out of mind, really. And the Newcastle 18-year-old is flying. They're not going to catch him now, I don't think. And this is going to be a huge new PB for James Hodgson, who came out of the pack to deliver a 2:16.57, which is a 3-second PB. Nick Land with a 2:17, right on his best time, not quite improving on it. Callum Aiken in third place, 2:17.87. Well, that's a couple of seconds almost he's knocked off his best, but what a swim from James Hodgson. Just came flying through in 0, 2:16.5. Right, we do have a spare lane here too. But all but lane 6 occupied. Thomas Smith, Richmond Dale, James Robinson, City of Leeds, Joseph Martin, N&D, Luke Clegg, Borough of Kirklees, Barnaby, Howarth Osborne, City of Sheffield, Daniel Jackson of Borough of Kirklees, Jacob Brown, Tadcaster, Devon Creighton of Chestnut Street, Daniel Stevens, Beverley Barracudas, first 50, Butterfly Dunn, Luke Clegg, Borough of Kirklees, the 18-year-old, is our early leader. And Jacob Brown in second, Barnaby Howarth Osborne in third. This is quite a tight little group. Well, Barnaby Howarth Osborne has a time that's about a second and a half quicker than anybody else in this field. Not showing it yet, although this is only the halfway stage, and that breaststroke will certainly come into play very shortly. Luke Clegg up there in 3 is our halfway leader. Daniel Jackson in 2nd place. Barnaby Houth Osborne is a couple of seconds back nearly, but I expect him to make his move now on the breaststroke. And he's in the middle of that black hat sandwich there. Not happening for him quite yet, though. Daniel Jackson, it is happening for. Borough of Kirklees in 5. He's starting to make some big inroads here on the breaststroke, and has taken to the front of the field. 3rd is Luke, and lane 3. 2nd is Luke Clegg. Barnaby Houth Osborne has edged up into 3rd place, but is not really challenging Daniel Jackson. 2:09.11 is the time we have for Daniel. That's his best. Well, I think again that's going to be challenged. Over 25 now, so 15 to go. He should certainly be inside 2:09. 2:08 would be nice. Oh, it's going to be tight. It's going to be tight. Oh, he didn't quite get there. 2:09.88. So a little bit shy of his best. 2nd is Luke Clegg, 2:12 for our early leader, and then 3rd place went to Jacob Brown at the top. 2:15. Well, nobody actually did improve on their best times there, I don't think. Simply Leeds Sheffield battle to come up here, but don't discount, nor will we, the Skipton influence. They're all in position, so once they're off I'll name them again for you. Ben Rogers of Richmond-Dale in 0, Cameron Rhodes of Rotherham Metro in 1, Jacob Light N&D in 2, the 3 is Jack Jenkinson Skipton, Charlie Broom of Leeds in 4, Matthew Woodall of City of Sheffield 5, Tom Maskell N&D 6, Ethan Potter Sheffield 7, 8 is Jacob Barnett of N&D, and 9 is Sean Smith of Skipton. Charlie Broom will be our 50-metre leader, ahead of Jack Jenkinson, and then it is Sean Smith. Charlie Broom, 19 years of age now. Again, another name I've been mentioning for so long now, having covered this for a few years. Charlie Broom's name is one that's always involved in competitions of this kind. Got 2:06. I don't expect 2:06 to go this morning. We'll have a crack at that later. 2:08, the best for Matthew Woodall, but Charlie Broom is making this a procession at the moment, and he's got a strong breaststroke, so he should be able to back it up. Jack Jenkinson is 2nd, with Tom Maskell of N&D moving up into 3rd place. We know he's got a very strong breaststroke, so expect him to start coming through. Matthew Woodall likewise, lane 5, but at this stage it looks like Charlie Broom has this race pretty much to himself. 50 to go. Just to get the time he needs to qualify, the placing he needs to qualify for later. Doesn't need to overexert in the morning session, but just making sure that everything's in working order, the legs are kicking well, arms are moving properly, and all of the above seems to be the case for Charlie Broom. So 2:06.9, don't expect that this morning. Maybe around 2:10 would be good enough. I'll tell you what, it's going to be well inside 2:10. 2:08.82 for Charlie Broom. That's a decent heat swim for him. Jack Jenkinson with a 2:10 is just outside his best. Matthew Woodall will go quicker tonight, 2:14. And Tom Maskell with a 2:15. Final heat number 6 of the 200 IM, and it does look like we've got a withdrawal in 8. That aside, everybody else in the pool. Rio Deodu of Kingston upon Hull 0, Joshua Robinson N&D 1, Daniel Ransom City of Leeds 2, Tom Wilkinson Sheffield 3, Ben Cope of Sheffield in lane 4, 5 is Simon Robson of York City, Kurish Kodakar City of Leeds, 16-year-old, had a good day yesterday, he's in 6, 7 is Reece Blackett of Newcastle, and Isaac Bucket of N&D is in 9. And Rio Deodu of Kingston upon Hull is our early leader off the butterfly. Oh, you want to bring that 2:16 down, definitely. Sure, he's capable of going quicker than that, and today might be the day where he shows it. And they're coming back in the centre lane. Simon Robson, 19-year-old, great product of York City. And it's going to be 4 of them virtually in a line going to the wall at halfway. Odu has a lead, but top 4 separated by 0.67. I think there may well be a change in the pecking order on the breaststroke here. Ben Cope's got a very strong one. City of Sheffield in 4. This is where he'll come to the 4. Being tracked all the way by the 19-year-old Simon Robson. 3 years. Ben's junior. This is a good little race, these two. This have been dropped a little bit further back, but Ben Cope with a 2:05 will be a favourite to win this in the last 50. And he's into a stroke. So now is Simon Robson and Kurish Kodakar. Had a very strong freestyle yesterday, and showing us that he's definitely in the mix when it comes to later on in the day. But Ben Cope's going to do exactly what he needs to do to qualify. Simon Robson with a 2:08. Just keep an eye on Rio Deodu's time, because I'm sure he wants to improve on that 2:16. It's going to be a little improvement. Not for Ben Cope, won't worry about that. Simon Robson, Kurish Kodakar. Oh, Rio, you can do this. Yeah, 2:15. So he has improved in 6th place. Just checking through the lineup, see if anybody else has improved on their time. He's back at 2:14. Is he right on it? Yeah, just outside it. Only marginally outside it though, but Ben Cope is our winner. 2:09.57. And again, a bit like the Charlie Broome race we saw. He will go considerably quicker later today. Right, we're into the splash and the dash of the 50 breaststroke. So Tadcaster, Kingston upon Hull, Hartlepool. Just checking if anybody's pulled out. No, they're all there. N&D, York City, Middlesbrough, Sheffield and Chester Street are represented here. And on the splash and dash, doesn't really start to develop until we get to about the last 15 meters generally. Centre lane, lane 4, looking very strong is Yannicka Roberts of N&D. I think is just about going to take this. Her best time, 37.20. That's going to be 37.21. Gosh, how close can you get to your personal best without actually breaking it? 1/100th is the answer. Second was Sophia Kelly, 37.77. So yes, she's got inside 38 for the first time. And third was Chloe McDonald, 38.23. So Middlesbrough, Richmond Dale, Kingston upon Hull, City of Wakefield, Tadcaster, Skipton, City of Sheffield, N&D, Tadcaster, Borough of Kirklees all have representatives here in the second heat of the 50 metres breaststroke for the women. And looks like a very positive start from Lucy Towser of Kingston upon Hull in lane number 2. They're starting to come back into a line now, but Towser looks to me to have all the strength and all the momentum and all the likely attributes to win this, and she's going to do just that in lane number 2. And 36.06 is where she stops the clock, and that is nearly a second PB. 37.02 is what she's entered in on. 36.06 she does today. So good stuff from Lucy. Imogen Harkin with 36.61. Here's a new personal best for her, and Jessica Spavin in third, 36.98. Is also inside 37 for the first time. So two from Tadcaster, York City, Bradford, N&D, Rotherham Metro, Leeds and Sheffield have representatives in this one. Heat number 3 of the 50 breaststroke. Alana McDonald is the fastest on paper. She is in lane number 4, but she's not leading here. Lane 3 is Imogen Tiffany of City of Bradford looking the best right now, in a line with the likes of Emmy Horwell, Lily Walker and Scarlett Strathy. I think my money would be on lane number 3, and I think it is going to be lane number 3 to take it. Imogen Tiffany gets the touch, 36.17, and that's a nice chunk out of a PB she's taken there, from 36.4 to 36.17. Emmy Horwell, 36.68. On to heat 4. 36.06, the fastest time so far, came from Lucy Towser. Leeds, York City, Loftus Dolphins, City of Bradford, City of Sheffield, N&D, Leeds Uni, Cleethorpes and Newcastle. All the clubs represented here. Well, we have a scratch in 4, so there is no City of Sheffield, but all the others are going, including Seren Telantai is looking good for N&D in lane number 5. 34.06 is her best prior to today. And there's much doubt she's going to win this. Can she get around 34? She's going to be close to it. 33.97, even better from our winner. Yeah, she hadn't gone sub 34 before today, but now she has. Only 9/10 of a second difference, 9/100ths of a second difference, but it takes her one side of a landmark time. So I think they're all in for this one. They are. Sheffield, Stokesley, Barnsley, Borough of Kirklees, Doncaster Darts and Tadcaster have swimmers involved in heat number 5. Expecting maybe Georgina Wright to emerge in this pack with a 33.4 in lane number 4, and that's precisely what she is doing. She's going to lead them home. Has anybody got a challenge for her? That's the question. Is it going to come potentially from a couple of lanes up from Charlotte Bianchi, possibly? No, it's going to be lane 4. It's going to be Georgina Wright. I guess at 34.21. With Charlotte Bianchi in second, Karis O'Reilly Busy weekend for her. Back in the pool again. And she's just outside her best. 34.60 was edge time, 34.65. Final heat. Rotherham Metro, Bradford, Stocksbridge, N&D, Sheffield, Middlesbrough, Newcastle and Tadcaster all have representatives. What a flying start from Sienna Robinson. The 18-year-old from City of Sheffield is not hanging around. She wants this done and dusted. 31.46. Well, she is the fastest by a couple of seconds in this field and is intent on putting down a really firm marker from a heat swim this morning. She's going to be in and around 32, I reckon, from this. 32.36 is where she stops the clock. And that is the fastest time of the morning in that event. First of the heats of the men's 50 backstroke. Beverley Barracudas, Tadcaster, N&D, Middlesbrough, Durham City, Selby, Billingham, Harrogate all have swimmers involved in this one. Sam Livingston of N&D has got the advantage at 25. Can he carry it on at 35? He is carrying it on at 35, all the way to the wall. 30.80 is his best, being challenged by Ed Retshaw, and it is just Sam Livingston against the 30.21. So down towards the 30 he comes from a 30.8. Ed Retshaw 30.44, and that's a nice improvement of about 3/4 of a second for him too. Heat number 2. N&D, Newcastle, Bradford, Doncaster Darts, Barnsley, Kingston upon Hull, Durham City and Pocklington. All with swimmers involved in this one. Good flying start by Alexander Whittle of Newcastle and also by Will Skiggs of Bradford in lane number 2. And Skiggs looking good. Also at the top of your picture in lane number 6. Daniel Morehouse, but it is going to be lane 2 is going to take it. Will Skiggs will get to the wall first, 29.38, and under 30 he goes for the first time. It's a really important barrier to break for swimmers at the age of 15 anyway. 29.38, so he's taken a good 8/10 off his previous best there. Well done to Will, and second place went to Daniel Morehouse, 29.65, 3 under 30 there. Joshua McCollin also goes under that barrier. Louis Doubledam involved again from Durham City. There's a Rotherham Metro, Middlesbrough, N&D, Bridlington, Doncaster Darts, Whitby, Skipton, Beverley Barracudas and City of Leeds. So where's this one going to go? 2 centre lanes looking strong in this one. That's David Hope and Daniel Bailey. They're going pretty much stroke for stroke. And also the top of the picture, Oliver Steele, 16-year-old from Leeds, might just sneak it from the outside lane, but it's going to be lane 4. It's going to win. David Hope of Bridlington. And a 29.26 for his troubles, and that's a nice improvement on the previous best that he has listed, 29.4. Three more heats, so we're into the quicker swimmers here. So even less time to tell you who the clubs are. All 10 are in though. A lot of N&Ds, in fact 5 N&D swimmers in this. Sheffield, Leeds, East Leeds, Newcastle, Leeds Uni make up the other clubs involved. And they are breaking out in a line, with the exception of Harry Nicholson of Newcastle, who looks to be the front runner and the clear leader, probably the clear winner of this stage. Don't think anybody's going to catch Harry Nicholson. 26.28 is his best, and he's going to win this by almost a body length. He dives in for a 27.07. More to come later, I'm sure, from him. Second is Shaheen Al Ghafari, around about that 27.98 mark. And third is Ben Hartridge. At the top of your picture, Ben has put down a new marker. 28.3 was 28.7 prior to today. Number 5 has N&D, has Leeds, has Skipton, has Sheffield, has Kingston, has Newcastle, has Chester Street, has Tadcaster. And that's a couple of empty lanes as well. I haven't given you the big build-up, so we'll have to go to 5 to look at Rio Diodu. Another swim for him. 26.86 is his entry time. He's going to win this comfortably. 26.86, not going to be quite there. 27.16 on this occasion for the winner. Second is Daniel Ransom, 28.68, and Ben Shelton with a 28.85. Last heat of the 50 backstroke. Rotherham, Tiffin, Tadcaster, York City, Borough of Kirklees, Sheffield, Newcastle and Leeds Uni would all have swimmers if Simon Robson had shown, but in fact Daniel Cross is the one who's withdrawn. So the orange cap is definitely in there. So too, very prominent, is William Ellis of N&D, the 20-year-old. Is going to stroke this one out clearly ahead of everybody else in lane number 5. Wins coming from him in a time of 27.16. So just going back through the other time, 27.16 from him. And that's exactly the same time as Rio Diodu did. Fastest qualifier for the final will be Harry Nicholson with a 27.07. So we move on now to the women's 100 butterfly, and Tenda Tayenga of N&D, Molly Gould of N&D, Maisie Smith of Kingston upon Hull, Katie Pink of Middlesbrough, City of Leeds, Sebastian Carter, Riley Ackroyd of Tadcaster, Millie Linton of N&D, N&D's Katie Blunt, another N&D, Isabel Fox, and Evie Lambert, our S9 swimmer, goes in lane number 9. Yeah, there she is. First 50 done, and it is Katie Blunt of N&D just ahead of Madison Carter. All of them got entry times, most of them anyway around 109. So anything inside 109 is going to be a personal best. Isabel Fox now taking up the race in the outside lane up there in... sorry, this is Katie Blunt. Katie Blunt it is up there in 7. There's the red cap. 107.88 for her. So that's going to be a nice improvement. 107.88 for Katie Blunt. And I think quite a few. That's the second equal there. Riley Ackroyd and Madison Carter, 108.54. Yep, they're all into new territory, the 108s for the first time. So good swims for the top 3. Heat number 2. And again, we'll just have a quick glance across. I think we have a missing lane. We do. That would be lane 1. But Millie Northrop of Barnsley is in 0. 2 is Nadine Wilson of N&D. Ellie Peacock of Richmond Dale. India Chesters of Tadcaster. Grace Adu of Newcastle. Abby Netherway of Tadcaster. Libby Munday of Kingston upon Hull. Jasmine Shea of Bradford. Kay Fenton of Skipton. First 50 just about done. There's quite a spread here. 7, 3 and 0. First just to the wall was Ellie Peacock of Richmond Dale. 16-year-old with a 108.6 to her name. Again, they'll all be looking to try and get into the 107s if they potentially can from this group. I think we might get at least a couple of them who will do that. Lane 3, Ellie Peacock looking very strong, but so too 3 up from her. In 6 is Abby Netherway of Tadcaster, who's coming through strongly. I think she might just steal this. It's going to be right on the touch. Who's going to get the touch? Oh, a better touch there from Jasmine Shea at the top of the picture. City of Bradford swimmer sneaking in for a 108.12. This means she's knocked about a second off her best. Abby Netherway with a 108.19. That's an improvement. Ellie Peacock also goes from 108 to 103, so that's good. 108.3 from her from 108.6. All present and correct for this one. Beth Richardson of N&D, Isabel Montague, Middlesbrough, Megan Chew, Kingston upon Hull, Lucy Oliver, N&D. City of Wakefield, Hannah Smith, Leonie Young of Billingham, Darcy Crossley of City of Leeds, Alice Ward of N&D, Madeline Wright of Kingston upon Hull, Emmy Hallwell of York City. Madeline Wright, Kingston upon Hull seems to have had a very good start on the far side in lane number 8. So too in 2 has Megan Chew. And it's just Megan Chew gets there before the rest of the field, and there's a whole phalanx of them in 2, 3, 4 and 5, but Megan Chew was about the best of the first 50. She's gone 108.10 to her name and looking very strong indeed. Digging in, came off that wall nicely, but now it's starting to get closed down a little bit by Hannah Smith of City of Wakefield in lane 4. Is starting to make her charge through. Top of your picture, one from the top, it's Madeline Wright. I think we're looking at 4 for the win. Hannah Smith here is going to take it relatively comfortably. What kind of time could she clock? 107.61. Yeah, so that's about a third of a second better than she's recorded before. Madeline Wright, 108.81. Yeah, it's just a little bit slower, but still in the 108 territory where she has been before. Freya Tyas of York City, Matilda Potter of City of Leeds. City of Sheffield has Isabella Shering. Isla Williams, City of Leeds. Madison Johnson, Rotherham Metro. Becky Watson, N&D. Amelia Osborne, Rotherham Metro. Matilda Ashcroft, City of Leeds. Emma Wood, City of Leeds, and N&D's Sarah Wright are the swimmers involved in this one. First the wall. The first 50 will be Becky Watson of N&D and Madison Johnson, followed by Sarah Wright. And even at this stage, it looks unlikely Becky Watson's going to be headed here. Still 25 meters to go, but she's looking immensely strong despite the work being done by Madison Johnson, trying to come back at her. And also the top of your picture, Sarah Wright still going nicely too. Emma Woods putting in a burst towards the end. I think, oh, maybe. Becky Watson's just going to hold on in 5, and she does. 105.17. Madison Johnson, who has been in the 102s, 105.41 today, and then Matilda Ashcroft in 3rd place. 2 more to come of the 100 butterfly. Jess Witherson of City of Leeds, Isabel Farmer, Borough of Kirklees, Evio Hanna and Hutchison of N&D, Erin Tankard, City of Sheffield, Molly Chambers, City of Sheffield, Isla Jones, City of Sheffield, Bradford, Sophie Gledhill, Emma Price in 7, Gabrielle Freeman, N&D, and then Chester Street, Annabelle Cooper is in the outside lane. That's his first 50 starting to develop. Well, it's developing at the moment with Molly Chambers going into the wall first. Isla Jones in 2nd place. It's Erin Tankard. Quite a competitive front 3 we've got here. In 4 though, Molly Chambers with that 102.12. She is a little bit quicker than everybody else in this field, but Isla Jones is not going to be respecting that. She's a teammate, and teammates love to race each other. But this time round, it's going to be Molly Chambers who will get the win. And then the other 2 Sheffield swimmers coming in after her. 104 dead for Molly Chambers. And Isla Jones just getting the better of Erin Tankard by 4 100ths between 2nd and 3rd. And now we've got a swimmer who was on the verge of breaking the minute barrier. Won't happen this morning, I'm sure. Maybe later today. 60.76 from Ashley Bailey. So what kind of form she is in. She climbs aboard her block for heat number 6. Misha Comrie of City of Leeds. Got 14-year-old Erin Jones going in 1 for Newcastle. Tancaster with Meredith Harness. Sophie Murray of Harrogate in 3 and 5. Seren Talentire of N&D. Jessica Schmelt of Borough of Kirklees. Chloe Cook, City of Sheffield. Emily Maxwell, N&D, and Connie Milburn of Harrogate for contingent. Well, if Ashley Bailey does not win this, I will be absolutely astonished, because she is by far the best in this field. 60.76 is her entry time, and 29.01 is what she does on the turn. Keeping close proximity is Sophie Murray in 2nd place, then Seren Talentire. Ashley Bailey will not want to get headed here, even if she doesn't do a particularly quick time. She'll not want to get beaten, because that's the racer in her. And I think the chance of her getting beaten now with 15 to go are highly remote. It's going to be Ashley Bailey. Just see what kind of marker she can lay down here. A 102 would be nice. And she gets 102.74, which is the quickest of the morning by a little way. Maybe it's past that 104 from Molly Chambers. 102.74 from Ashley Bailey. Checking back on the first and second conceded heats, yeah, it was 105.7, so yeah, quicker by just over a second compared to the others. Sophie Murray was 2nd, Seren Talentire was 3rd, Jessica Schmelt in 4th. They come thick and fast, these events, don't they? 200 butterfly for the men. 16-year-old, a 19-year-old, another 16-year-old in this. City of Leeds have Luke Dyer, Ben Wilkinson of Whitby, and Thomas Eblett of Bridlington. All with a range between 2:32 and 2:36 in their entry times. And again, it's an area of British swimming that's not particularly strong, although we're seeing some good swims at 50 and 100 from Jacob Peters recently. James Guy not going to go on forever and doesn't do the 200 flyer all that often these days, so 200 flyer male is something that would be very good for the next 5-year cycle. Are we going to find one from the northeast? Ben Wilkinson of Whitby is 19 years of age, so gone through his junior phase and now into senior ranks. 232 is his best, according to the entry sheet. Now, so being 19, he might have done better than that. It's on a 2-year cycle, so prior to that, he might have gone quicker, but 232 is what we have as his entry time. Thomas Eblett is second, Luke Dyer third. All of a sudden, his swimmer in lane 5 is starting to make some moves. Thomas Eblett from Bridlington, 16-year-old. He's just gone into his stroke slightly better off that turn, and Ben Wilkinson is struggling just a little bit on that stroke to get those arms out of the water. You can see that hasn't quite got the lift. He's going to be okay, because it looks like he's really struggling now, our early leader. Just need to keep an eye on him. He's going to come back for the last 50, but I think it's just going to be a bit of a glide, because he's fly is not a stroke you want to be doing if you're struggling, and fortunately he is. Thomas Eblett and Luke Dyer still having their battle. It's a very tight one too, the City of Leeds swimmer and the Bridlington swimmer. And it might just be Luke Dyer who gets the better of this as they come into the closing stages. Yeah, he certainly has. And can he break 236? He's going to do that quite comfortably. 233 for our winner. Just hoping that Ben Wilkinson can get to the end comfortably. 236 for Thomas Eblett. That's outside his best. I'll miss a get there. There you go. Yeah, halfway, poor old Ben Wilkinson really was struggling. Our leader at the 100 stage, but then something happened at 100 and he just lost all momentum and all propulsion. And I'm glad to see him finish. Heat number 2, and I think they're all there. Ralph Robson of N&D, City of Leeds, Callum Raven, Jack Denwood of Rotherham Metro, Joseph Hall, City of Leeds, Cameron Rhodes of Rotherham, 14-year-old Luke Wise of Tadcaster goes in 6, Oliver Steele of City of Leeds, and Ting Ho Chung of Leeds in lane number 8. Now we have a flyer, an early flyer here, and that is the swimmer in lane 3, Jack Denwood of Rotherham Metro, looking very good, but this is a 200. You don't want to overexert. Talk to you, any 200 flyer, the last 50 is agony. You go through all kinds of pain barriers and feel the old lactate building up. If you over-rev and go too quickly early on, you do suffer for it late on. It's all about the pacing of the race, making sure you can inject the pace at the right time. But we do have a race, I think, on our hands. Jack Denwood and Cameron Rhodes. Just still Jack Denwood. Rhodes is third of a second back. It looks like being between these two in the 200 heat number 2 butterfly. And these two are going to race each other, which is good. Kind of what we want. Certainly helps to improve the time. They're both in the 229 range. In fact, Cameron's 228 high and Jack's 229 low, so there's not much between them time-wise, about 0.3 of a second. Also trying to intervene, Joseph Hall of City of Leeds, 15-year-old. It looks like being between 3 and 5 at this stage, and also catching my eye now, the 14-year-old from Tadcaster, Luke Wise. It would be great to see a few of those PBs knocked down here. I think it's very likely we might see it from Jack Denwood. Definitely the Rotherham Metro swimmer. And just he was coming under pressure on Cameron Rhodes. He seemed to find a little extra something from somewhere. 229 is, prior to today's best, 229.01. Well, that's going. Look at this. 229.01. Are you silly? Under 220. Oh, not quite. I thought he was going to go under 220. He right on the cusp of it, but hang on a second. Where's that come from? 229.01 to 220.35. 17-year-old Jack Denwood from Rotherham Metro has just knocked almost 9 seconds. I get 8 3/4 seconds off his entry time. So I presume, Jack, that is your best prior to today. Somehow, some way, you've just gone nearly into the 219 ranks. That's exceptional. Second was Cameron Rhodes, by the way, 222. And he's knocked 6 seconds off his best as well. Wow. Well, the Metro are doing something very good on their butterfly, aren't they? Get the improvements they've just seen. We haven't got a lane 3 for this. But everybody else, I think, is there. They are, so I'll give those to you. Matthew James, City of Leeds. Lewis Fox of Rotherham Metro. Charlie Ward of N&D. Sam Jackson of Borough of Kirklees. Joe Burgess of Skipton. Matthew Bradley of Cleethorpes. Jack McClelland of Borough of Kirklees. Aaron Wharton of Richmond Dale. And Harvey Chin of Middlesbrough. The swimmers involved in this one. Early leader, 50 gone. Jack McClelland, 16-year-old from Borough of Kirklees. Entered in on 224.48. If we can get 2 or 3, maybe 4 racing here, those times should start to come down. Top of your picture, though. Now, Jack McClelland still holding on in 7. Where's the battle going to be joined here? Could be from lane 4. There's Sam Jackson coming into the mix, only 0.63 behind now. Matthew Bradley about a second back. This is where it starts to hurt. First 100 relatively comfortable, and then we wait for piano to drop onto your shoulders and make that last 50 absolute agony. Hips get lower, arms feel like concrete, but at the moment things looking pretty good from Jack McClelland's point of view. 16-year-old's not wavering yet, nor is Sam Jackson. And they're going to go into the wall almost identical times. Jack McClelland has an 1800th of a second advantage. There's nothing really, is it? And also finishing pretty quickly is Matthew Bradley of Cleethorpes. I think Jack McClelland, who led at 50, led at 100, led at 150, might just hold on here. Led all the way through the race. It's a gutsy way to swim this for the Borough of Kirklees swimmer, if he can hold on. Got real pressure from Sam Jackson. Jackson might take it at the death. He's going to. Sam Jackson, our Borough of Kirklees, will get it at the touch. 2:20.11. So half a second better than his entry time. Jack McClelland was a 2:24. Now finds himself at a 2:20.98. So an impressive improvement there from Jack McClelland. And Matthew Bradley, 2:22, also going in the right direction for the swimmer from Cleethorpes. Quick glance across, see whether we are missing anybody. No, they're all there. Good. Heat 4. Peter McGrother of Durham City, Ethan Reiling of N&D, Miles Kinlan, City of Sheffield, Gabriel Shepherd of City of Leeds, Ruben Visder, City of Sheffield, Elliot Best of Newcastle, Joshua Harris of Tadcaster, Gowan Stevenson, City of Leeds, Pocklingtons, Joseph Pickering and Stephen Castro of L&D. So we do have a missing lane, actually. We do miss 6. Sorry about that. Joshua Harris is not with us, but everybody else is. And Ruben Visder of Sheffield. Into these cyclically seeded heats, he's got a 2:02, so he is on paper about 7 seconds quicker than anybody else in this field, so we'd expect him to even not flat out win this. Being tested though, being tested by Elliot Best of Newcastle in 5. So these two are pretty clear of everybody else at the moment. Miles Kinlan at City of Sheffield in 4th place, maybe just 3rd actually, ahead of Gabriel Shepherd. 60.64 at the halfway stage for our leader. I expect to be our winner because, as I say, on paper he's a little bit quicker than everybody else in this field. Ruben Visder, now 20 years of age. Where's that time gone? So covering these events for many years and being around the City of Sheffield team. Seeing Ruben come through his teenage years, now into his 20s. Always been a solid individual in terms of his times. Just when he's that real epoch moment where he breaks through to that upper echelon. And quicker time might come later today because they're a few weeks out from the Nationals now, which they were all preparing for. So some people just training through for this. Some people just in a taper situation going forward, but no problems for Ruben Vista here. Okay, 2:02.7 won't be touched, but you want to put a decent marker down for the final later today, and he's going to do just that. 2:08.43 is the winning time for Ruben Vista. Elliot Best with a 2:11, and Gabriel Shepard with a 2:14. Fourth is Miles Kinlan. Two more heats to come. Heat 5 of 6, and quick glance down to make sure there's no spare lanes, and there's not. So Oliver Whittleston, City of Leeds; Cody Ingram, City of Borough Barnsley, name of your city Barnsley; William Gallagher N&D, Luke McGee N&D, Charlie Broom of Leeds; Kurish Kodakar of Leeds; Sheffield's Adel Acelli, City of Leeds; Jad Idris, Sam Smith Skipton; Jasper Hall, Newcastle, all in there. Charlie Broom had a great swim earlier today, who, whatever cobwebs there might have been away, and is doing likewise. And again, like the previous race with Ruben Vista, he is massively quicker than anybody else in this field by 8 seconds nearly. So it would be a big surprise if he got headed. It's all about those following him in for the finals positions tonight. And at the halfway stage, he's going to clock 1:00.23. A little bit slower than Ruben Vista's split time on the 100 last time round, but maybe he is coming under a bit of pressure here. Having said that, from Luke McGee. Now, Luke McGee is putting real pressure on Charlie Broom. I imagine only at maybe 90% here, or maybe slightly less, knowing he's going to qualify quite comfortably, but he's not going to want to lose this, and Luke McGee is really putting some pressure on. Now, Luke McGee, his entry time is some 9 seconds, or nearly 9 seconds slower than is Charlie Broom. So if he was to stick with him, you would anticipate him getting close or under his personal best. There are two lead swimmers in there, Kurish Kodakar on the far side, but this is impressive in the 17-year-old Luke McGee. 2:10 before today. He's got a good chance of being inside that. Well, certainly could be around it anyway. It's going to be around that 2:10 as he comes in. 2:10.36. And that's a little slower than he's been before, but not by much. And he really did push Charlie Broom all the way. Charlie Broom probably wants a little bit of testing, a little bit of racing, but Luke McGee stuck with him for the most part. Kurish Kodakar getting second place, so 1-2 for Leeds. And then Luke McGee with a 2:10.36. Adel Acelli was fourth. So no 1 for this one. No 3 for this one. So everybody else, though, has arrived and is swimming. Oliver Smith of Middlesbrough, Joshua Robinson N&D, Ewan Wilson of City of Sheffield, James Robinson, City of Leeds, Ben Gilchrist, Richmond Dale, James Hodgson, Newcastle, Ethan Williams, Newcastle, Beverley Barracudas, Lewis Horden. Ewan Wilson again is the class act in this field in terms of entry time anyway, with a 2:01.49, and is leading at the 50. Closest to him in terms of time is James Robinson of City of Leeds, 2:08.60. But this is a very tight race. 4 of them pretty much in the lines you can see there from 4 upwards. Ewan Wilson, James Robinson, Ben Gilchrist and James Hodgson. And not too far adrift either in lane number 2 is Joshua Robinson. So we could have a bit of a fight to the finish here. Certainly top 3 separated by less than 0.4 of a second. And coming back into the mix, James Hodgson of Newcastle. So watch out for this one. Looks like Ewan Wilson's not going to have it all his own way. 21-year-old from Sheffield, who does have a 2:01 time, is actually falling off the pace. James Robinson and Ben Gilchrist are battling for major honours here. That's the James Robinson yellow cap, which will go into the wall first. Ewan Wilson's going to want to come back strongly over the last 50. I don't think he's going to get top 2. And he's under pressure for that 3rd place as well, potentially from James Hodgson, but I think he's probably okay. Here he comes. Kept a little bit in reserve maybe. And it's time to advance and starting to get a little bit closer to our top 2. Now if he can pull this off, he's coming from a long way back to win it. Here's Ewan Wilson. He is going to win it. Look at this. Look at this. Sudden massive acceleration over the last 25 to go and steal that away from the other 2 who thought there was a battle between the 2 of them. But 2:11.31 for Ewan Wilson, which is slow by his standards, but nonetheless he did stop James Robinson and Ben Gilchrist from winning. I've got to say, going into that last 50 turn, I thought he was spent, but he had deeper reserves than I thought. Came back to win it. Not the fastest time though. Fastest time of the morning is just Charlie Brooms. Right, we've got a lot of these. 6, then followed by 10 for the men of the 100 freestyle. So, who have we got here? Megan Mills, York City. Ruby Dan of N&D. Lauren Lilly, City of Leeds. Elvie Warburton of City of Sheffield. Flora Myers, Beverly Barracudas, and Greta Highfield. Now what's going to be exciting about this race, I think, when we get down to probably not this heat, maybe heat 3, we'll start to see some of our swimmers go under 60, which is such a big barrier in the 100 free. We may well see some swimmers break that minute barrier for the very first time. So I don't think it's going to happen in this one because they've got too much to do to drop down in time, but could happen in the next one. Almost certainly will happen in heat number 3. So we picture Flora Myers of Beverly Barracudas is going to come in with Ruby Dan and Megan Mills. So Megan Mills it is who stops the clock at 1:02.41, so there's an improvement for you straight away. 1:02.76, and that's an improvement for Flora Myers. And Lauren Lilly had a 1:02.52. She's just a little bit outside it. Top 2 though, with improvements on their entry times. Got a couple of 1:01s here, so I don't think they could quite get down to the 60 seconds. But Hannah Smith of City of Wakefield goes in lane 0. In 1, Alana McDonald of N&D. We don't have anybody in 2. 3 is Emily Rickinson of Kingston upon Hull. Rhea Harrand of York City in 4. Lucy Oliver, N&D in 5. Misha Comrie of City of Leeds in 6. Charlotte Bianchi, 7 for Sheffield. 8, Eloise Herbert, Tadcaster. And 9 is Catherine Noble of Newcastle. Charlotte Bianchi is our leader early stages, up there in lane 7 from Victoria Sidova. It's lane 3 we haven't got. Lane 2 we do have. Victoria Sidova is there and is racing. She's the one in lane 2. And at the moment it's Bianchi and Sidova who are 1 and 2. And they're going to go into the wall almost identical times, about a third of a second separating. 101.07 for Charlotte Bianchi. That's a good improvement on her best, which was 102.3. It's now 101.07. And Victoria Sibova, 101.38. Yeah, it takes her down into the 61s. Now, I think we might get a sub 60 here from swimmers who've not done it before. Let's see. We could 2C if we could. Alex McGill of Gateshead and Wickham. Kay Fenton, Skipton, Alex Dunn, Bradford, Sarah Wright, N&D, Tacassa's Sophie McClure, Becky Watson, N&D, Lucy Betshow of Billingham, Matilda Ashcroft of City of Leeds, Poppy Dunn of Skipton, Ella Summers of Scunthorpe. Now, come on, somebody. Break that minute barrier for us for the first time. Sophie McClure is on a 1:00.82, so she'd need 9/10 to get inside. I think she's definitely going for it. The 17-year-old from Tadcaster. This could be her moment to get under that 60-second barrier. And she is dominating this race. Looking good. Looking very good indeed. I've got good feelings here for this sub-60 for the first time for Sophie McClure. Excited Tadcaster. I think it's coming, although she's being closed down now by Alex Dunn. Sarah Wright. Oh, no. She didn't quite do it. In fact, she has got a PB, though. That's the important thing, I suppose, that she has improved on a previous time. I thought she might potentially get there. 1:00.81, so not to be quite yet, but it's coming. Sarah Wright, 1:01.03. Just slightly slower than her entry time. And third, Alex Dunn with a 1:01.07. Yep, that's a movement in the right direction from a 1:01.4. Now, quite a few of these have already gone sub-minute. 5 of them have not. So there might be a new 59er in this pack. All there, with the exception of lane 9. Megan Park of N&D, Sophia Kelly, Tadcaster, Emma Price, N&D, Shola Robinson, City of Sheffield, Lucy Headley, Newcastle, Lara Thompson, City of Leeds, Erin Tankard, City of Sheffield, Abigail Naylor of Borough Kirklees, and Ellen McDermott of City of Leeds in heat number 4 of the women's 100 free. So maybe some one of the outside swimmers could potentially get under 60. Lucy Headley has already been there. In fact, she's down to 57, so no such issue for her. She is looking immensely strong in this one. Very powerful indeed. Sheila Robinson's trying to keep pace with her, but can't quite yet. Nor can Lara Thompson. And it's looking for all the world like Lucy Headley has got this. She is a little bit quicker, by about a second over the rest of the field, and that's kind of replicated here. She comes in, she'll go on to the minute. 58.72. Nice, and that's straightforward for Lucy Headley. Sheila Robinson in second place, and Lara Thompson with 60.14. Freestyle, heat number 5, and we'll look across and see an empty lane, which is the main lane number 4. So no Leah Schlossen in this one. Pearl Lightwood of Middlesbrough, Laura Hodgson of Newcastle, Ariana Stokes of N&D, Kiddish Hodgson of Leeds, Holly Wilson of Leeds, Molly Baker of Sheffield, Isabel Farmer, Borough Kirklees, Anna Finley of N&D, Libby Walker of Tadcaster. And it is Holly Wilson of City of Leeds, 15-year-old, youngest in this field amongst the 17, 18, 19-year-olds. This is the 15-year-old who's showing them a clean pair of heels. Another great talent emerging from that program in Leeds is Holly Wilson. Look at this, 57.97. Well, she is the second fastest in this. Obviously, Leah Schlossen's not in the field, so she's taking on the cudgels here. That's mightily impressive. That is mightily impressive. 57.58, and that's not massively outside her best time. In fact, it's inside her best time. It's inside her best time. Just realised that. 57.9, 57.5 in the heats. Watch out for her later today. The 15-year-olds absolutely smashed that. Heat 6 of the 100 freestyle, and as you can see, apart from Zero, we are having a full contingent here. Ollie Stoker of NND, Jessica Smelt of Borough Kirklees, Eve Doherty of Sheffield, Kate Clifton Sheffield, Georgina Wright Kirklees, Leeds, Emma Wood, another 15-year-old from that club, Elizabeth Land, Newcastle, Olivia Tom, York City, Grace Aduwu of Newcastle, 27.26 at the 50 split for Kate Clifton. Oh, I see a right old age range here from 15 up to 23, in fact 14 up to 23. But Kate Clifton, one of the more experienced swimmers out there, is not going to relinquish this for anybody. There's a good old scrap for second, third, fourth, fifth and sixth behind her. Kate Clifton's going to win this with ease, very comfortably indeed, and one up from her may be the second swimmer, Georgina Wright, and then Eve Doherty followed by Emma Wood. 56.56, nice solid heat swim for Kate Clifton. Georgina Wright 59.03 in second place. Right, now we've got most of the events this morning we've had 6 heats. This one we have 10. A few 7s, a few 6s, but this is the only event where we have 10. So I think it might be the inspirational nature of what our 4x1 team are doing at the moment. Everybody, a bit like they want to do breaststroke at one point because of Alan Peaty, now because of the way that our 4x1 and 4x2 team are performing. Everybody wants to do freestyle. So we have 10 heats here, and everybody's in. Jasper Gibson Cass of Beverley Barracudas, James Ramsey of Kingston upon Hull, Jai Didi of NND, Ben Hewitt of NND, Beverley Barracudas, Harry Rock, William Gibson of Durham City, Benjamin Walker of Stocksbridge, Daniel Lupton of AFS Hartlepool, Andrew Teal of Kirklees, and the S14 swimmer in the outside lane is Thomas Reddings. Right, where are we at? What's happening here? Centre lanes again. We're looking at 1, 3 and 5. Looking at James Ramsey, looking at Ben Hewitt, looking at William Gibson potentially here, and also a fast finishing Harry Rock. But my money at the moment's on 3. It's on Ben Hewitt to go. Is he going to get there? No, William Gibson is. William Gibson gets there just ahead of him with a 1:00.64. So into the 60s he goes. Ben Hewitt was also in the 61 territory, now in the 60s. And third place to James Ramsey, who also manages to get about half a second off his best. 1:01.6 down to 1:01.13. So good race, very good race. And some good times too for those swimmers. Okay, I was talking about that sub 60 time for the women. We may just get one here from the men. I'm expecting one at least here from this selection. They're all there, all 10 swimmers. Alfie Charlton of Harrogate, Joseph Orr, City of Leeds, Quinn Austin Kelly of City of Bradford, Thomas Connell of NND, Oliver Smith of Middlesbrough, George Carey of City of Leeds, Oliver Mager, Thirsk, Joshua Booth of Rotherham Metro, Alexander Anson, AFS Hartlepool, Callum Raven of City of Leeds. I will be very disappointed if we don't get a sub-minute swim here for one of these. Is it going to come from lane 2? Quinn Austin Kelly of City of Bradford goes into the wall pretty much alongside Joshua Booth. 5 100 separating them. Booth at the top of your picture and Quinn Austin Kelly at the bottom. So a bit of a spread here. Booth at the top, and they're now starting to come back to all of them. And Quinn Austin Kelly is still looking quite strong. Also, Oliver Mager of Thirsk has put in a bit of a burst over the last 25, but it looks like Joshua Booth's going to get there. Come on, this is the minute for you. This is the 59er. It is a 59er, and it's a 59.08 for Joshua Booth. In fact, he's managed to carry 3 other swimmers through under the minute barrier. Nobody had broken the minute before. Quinn Austin-Kelly, Joseph Hall and Oliver Mega all do. Top 4 there, all in the 59s. So some great barriers broken by 4 swimmers, and Alfie Charlton, who was on a 101.14, is pretty close to it now too at a 60.35. On to heat 3. And there's a vacant lane, which is lane number 4. I think that is the only one. Yep, Alexander McCallum of Selby, Harry Senior of Leeds, Ruben Holman of South Hunslet. Hello, South Hunslet. I haven't mentioned you this morning. Welcome to the occasion and welcome to the competition this morning. Charlie Pierce of Tadcaster, Jamie Beach of Newcastle, David Hope of Bridlington, Marco Gettu of Harrogate, Daniel Green of Kipax, and oh hello Kipax. I haven't mentioned Kipax this morning either. And Beverly Barracudas, Alex Goldberg. Right, who's where? Right, at the top of the picture, Alex Goldberg of Beverly Barracudas is having a fantastic first 75. Can anybody close him down? Coming back, and they're coming back pretty quickly. It might well be lane 3 is going to take it. Charlie Pierce of Tadcaster gets it in 59.08. So again, somebody had not been under the minute barrier now is, and he's managed to carry Marco Gettu, Harry Senior, Daniel Green and David Hope all through the minute barrier. None of them had done, in terms of their entry time, sub 60 before. 5 of them have, so what was that, 9 that we've got under the 60. Well, everybody in this field bar 1 has been under it. Jesse Pickering, who's the only one who hasn't, is right on the minute. Literally 1:00:00. So see what he can do right now. Sam Ainsley of Hartlepool, Daniel Morehouse of Durham City, Alex Bowyer of Sedgefield, Alexander Whittle of Newcastle, Matthew James, City of Leeds, Stephen Castro N&D, Hugh Earswick, hello to you, with Michael Makamaketsi in 6, Will Byram in 7, Lewis Kessler of N&D, Pocklington's Joseph Pickering, the one who hasn't yet broken the minute, is hopefully going to do so in this race. And it is Maka, here we get it right, Maka Hamadze. There you go, Michael Makamakadze. Makahamadze. There you go, say it slowly, break it up, Bob. It's easy, you might well win this and you need to say it properly. Michael Makahamadze of New Earswick. Is he going to win it? No, he's not quite. Lane 2 is going to do Alex Bowyer of Sedgefield. Michael finishing in 2nd place. And Daniel Moss, what do you do, Joseph? Oh, Joseph! Oh, Joseph! 1:00:13. I thought you might get it under that minute barrier, but not quite. I shall practice my Michael Makahamadze for later today, and I will get it at some point. I will get it right today. Makahamadze. Just break it up there. It's easy enough to do. Heat 5, and everybody is in. And these are they: Michael Wall of Bridlington, Ethan Potter of City of Sheffield, Taylor Horsman of Tadcaster, Owen Reid of Billingham, Maxwell Ford of City of Leeds, Joseph Edgar of N&D, Ryan Mills of Middlesbrough, Alex Morton of N&D, Louis Cass of Borough of Kirklees, and David Naglick of City of Bradford, who is leading up there in lane number 9 after the first 50, but that may not last for very long, because a very good turn by Joseph Edgar of N&D in lane 5 has taken him to the front of the field, and he's probably just got his shoulders ahead of everybody else at this stage. Finishing very quickly is Daniel Moore, so is Ethan Potter. Ethan Potter in lane number 1, finishing very, very strongly. Might come in for the win here. Ethan Potter in lane number 1, but Louis Cass gets it at the top. Ethan Potter just edged out from Louis Cass's finish. Louis into 57s now, 57.65, taking well over a second off his best there. Second was Ethan Potter, 57.94. So again, about a second better than he's been before. Owen Reid, 58.02. We had 8 there under the minute. Heat 6. And Don't see any spare lanes, so here comes your lineup. George Turner, Newcastle, Sam Livingston, NND, Joshua McCollin of Kingston upon Hull, Max Walker of Thirsk, Robert Christian of AJ Newcastle, Louis Ennis of Borough Barnsley, Oliver Steele, City of Leeds, Zach Sheriff, Skipton, Nathan Massam of Doncaster Darts, and Lucas Cherry of City of Sheffield. First 50 done. And looks like Max Walker is going to get to the wall just behind George Turner. George Turner in lane 0, just getting his hand on the wall first. But look at that top 8 separated by 2/3 of a second. Very tight indeed as we look at what's happening at the other end of the pool. And scrap still between George Turner and Max Walker at this stage. Max Walker, I think, is getting the better of the field. Max Walker will get the better of the field, and he will touch now in 56.43. And that takes him into new territory as well, under 57. Second, Oliver Steele, who hadn't been sub 57 before, has now. And third place going to George Turner, who breaks 57 from a 58.2. So he's bypassed the 57s totally and gone straight to the 56s. Well done to George Turner, 16-year-old from Newcastle. The action comes thick and fast. Heat 7 of 10. And we're all in for this one. Elliot Arnell, NND. Jimmy Maguire, NND. City of Leeds, Oliver Whittleston, Benjamin Dale Wood, Thirsk, James Cam, Rotherham, Metro, Nick Land, Newcastle, Luke Gorn, Billingham, Patrick Neal of City of Leeds, Matthew Just, City of Leeds, Oliver Davis Tootle, Rotherham Metro, and it is James Cam who just edged out Benjamin Dale Wood over that first 50, but this is 100 and things will change. The sprinters then have to make way for the slightly more endurance swimmers. Lane 4 looking strong now. James Cam, 15-year-old from Thirsk, got a 56.2 to his name. Starting to be caught a little bit by Luke Gorn, and he's going to get there first in a 54, so that's good new territory for him. That's what it's like. Just break those barriers down. 54.93, never been sub 55 before, but now has. Benjamin Dale Wood joins the 55 club. 55.31, Luke Gorn 55.39. 4 swimmers under 56 there. Getting into the speed merchants now as we get towards the cyclically seeded heats, which start now. And I think they are all swimming. Harry Courtney of NND, Niall Smith, City of Sheffield, Tom Maskell, NND, Adam Strickland, same club, Lewis Maxwell, same club, 2 from Leeds, Charlie Broome, what a busy morning he's had, Gabriel Shepherd likewise, Rory Taylor of Leeds, William Gowler of NND, and Beverley Barracuda's Daniel Stevens. And it's lane 4 that catches my eye on the turn. That's Lewis Maxwell of NND, got a lead over Charlie Broome, who in turn is ahead of Gabriel Shepherd, and then it's Adam Strickland. The big man are in now. All now looking towards that 50-second barrier, which is so key. Talking about the minute barrier for the early ones, but these are now looking towards 50. Now Maxwell's on 58.7. Not going to break 50 this morning, but that could come later. 52.29. Nice swim. Nice comfortable swim, not having to go to the depths of exertion. Strickland in second place, third Gabriel Shepherd, and Charlie Broome in fourth. First of our sub 50 swimmers about to come. And he's there, and he is there. Tom Watkin for Sheffield in lane 4. Quite tough nationals recently, so see what kind of shape he's going to be in for one of his main events here. Fraser Buxton of City of Bradford, Leeds Uni's Dylan Wolven, Ethan Balin of Tadcaster, Jack Jenkinson of Skipton, Angelo Gianni Contini Newcastle, Matthew Rooney of Leeds Uni, Liam Dawson of Tadcaster, City of Leeds, Ben Shelton, and Joseph Moment of Kingston upon Hull. Look at Mr. Watkin go. No question about him holding anything back this morning. 24.56 is the split. Keep an eye on that for the next one. See how that lines up with Jordan Cooley when he goes in the next one. 4.56. Well, he's got the strength not quite to himself, because Angelo Giannicontini fancies the chance of maybe usurping him here, and he's right alongside him. If he can put a late burst in, I think the red cap's going to just about get it. It will get it. It's Thomas Watkin coming in, and a 51.84. Ooh, look how, no, he didn't get it. Didn't get it at all by 1/100th. Angelo Giannicontini got his hand on the wall marginally quicker. Only 1/100th, but visibly it looked like it had gone to Tom Watkin. It actually went to Angelo Giannicontini. That'll irritate Tom Watkin, I'm sure. He won't like to be beaten in that situation. Right, last heat, last event of the morning session. 2, Finn Ripley of Middlesbrough, Ben Thorpe of Newcastle, Josh Denham of Newcastle, Luke McGee back again in 3. Jordan Cooley, fastest in the field, 49.4. Harry Nicholson of Newcastle, Rowan Smith, Sam Smith, both from Skipton, Oliver Winter of Stocksbridge, and Adel Acelli at the top of your picture in lane number 9. 25.15. Well, that was 24.5 the first one, so not as quick on this one. Rowan Smith, but 3 in a line here. Jordan Cooley, Harry Nicholson, Rowan Smith. Jordan Cooley should get the better of the rest of the field. He is a tad quicker, and he is quicker, and just exerting himself a little bit more to make sure this race is his. And that will be a little bit quicker than was the previous heat. So all the effort coming in that second half, all the speed coming in the second half. 51.45. Harry Nicholson 52.7. He's been down to 51s. Rowan Smith, he goes under 53 for the first time. 52.85. And Luke McGee 52.95. That's just a little bit shy of his best. Now, I don't think we have any swim-offs I'm aware of. I think all the officials look like they are going to take their lead. Well, they're staying in position, so I think we might have something else. They're not moving yet. No, we're just going to go for a training session. Yeah, looks like the action is done for the morning. Thank you for your company. We'll take a little break for about an hour and a half. We'll be back at 1 o'clock for the relays and for the distance events, and of course the main finals will be at 5 o'clock, so we'll see you in just under an hour and a half's time. Hope you enjoyed the morning session. See you later.